All right, even innocent people need to watch this because I'm about to get into a little more depth about why it's never a good idea to talk to the police without a lawyer. Even if you believe that you've done nothing wrong, it's a dangerous way to think about having been arrested to say, I have nothing to hide. Let me just go ahead and talk to the police. And then I've heard this a lot, if I don't talk to the police, it's going to make me look guilty. It's the wrong way to think about it because when you've first been arrested and you know nothing about the evidence against you, it is just too dangerous to go talking about the facts. And let's take a very simple, basic example of this. So let's say you're driving, you get pulled over, and the officer says, do you know why you've been pulled over? You might think, maybe I was speeding. It's not such a big deal. Let me just go ahead and say, yeah, I know I was speeding a little bit. Maybe if I admit to that, I'll get off easy. The officer actually hadn't realized you were speeding, but says, no, actually, you ran a red light. So now you've talked about what you think the problem is, and I'm now on top of getting a ticket for running a red light. The officer is going to go back and look at the speed camera a couple of blocks back, and now you're facing a penalty for that as well. A small example, but you can appreciate how if it's something even more complicated, without knowing anything about the evidence against you, without knowing what the other side might be saying, once you go discussing the facts, maybe now you've provided another lead for investigation that hadn't already become apparent. Maybe you've corroborated a fact that hadn't been corroborated previously. Maybe you've given some insight into an angle of the other side's story that hadn't been fleshed out yet. It's never a good idea. The only safe thing to say when you're asked whether you have anything to say is, I want my lawyer. Truly, it's the only safe thing to say, even if an officer is trying to make you believe that it's in your interest to tell them what happened or to discuss what led to your arrest. I want my lawyer. And give me a call.